Hello students, in this class we will discuss some more problems regarding our diodes. So here the first problem is an silicon diode has I0 or IS 10 nanoamperes operating at 25 degrees Celsius. Calculate the diode current for the forward bias of 0.6 volts. This is the problem. So first he is asking to find out the diode current. First, what is the diode current formula? Diode current formula is ID. Diode current is represented with the ID. ID equal I0 e power VD NVT minus 1. So here ID is the diode current. I0 is the reverse saturation current. Reverse saturation current. That means whenever diode acts as a reverse bias, some leakage current will flow through that called reverse saturation current. So I0 is already given, that I0 value is 10 nanoamperes, and VD voltage across diode. That means when the diode is forward biased, some voltage will be dropped across diode, that is VD, or forward biased voltage. Both are same. That value is the 0.6 volts. Next we have N or neta. Its name is the ideality factor. Ideality factor. Generally, if it is a silicon diode, he mentioned silicon diode. For silicon diode, the ideality factor is 2. That's why you should take the 2. So these are the given data. These are the given data. So here, what is VT? VT is the factor that is have the formula. The formula is KT by Q. KQ by temperature dependent voltage. VT is nothing but temperature dependent voltage. It is represented by KT by Q. Here K is the Boltzmann constant. We have some K value, that is 1.38 10 power minus 23 joule per Kelvin. This is the K value. From this, K is given, but what about T? T is the temperature. Temperature generally given in degrees Celsius, small t, that is the 25 degree Celsius. We will find out this temperature in the kelvins, that is 273 plus 25 degree Celsius. We can write this is the 298 kelvins. So we got K value also. Next, what is the remaining last term? This is the Q. Q is the charge of the charge. Generally Q is the constant, that is 1.69 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. Charge will be represented in terms of the coulombs. So by using that, we will find out each and everything. First we need to find out the VT. VT equal KT by Q. So here VT, temperature dependent voltage, K value is 1.38 into 10 power minus 23 into 298 by 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. So by doing this, we will get temperature dependent voltage VT equal to 0.0257 volts. 0.0257 volts, right? So by using that formula directly, now we will write the equation. Once again we will write the equation. ID equal I0 into e power VD by N VT minus 1. Here I0 given 10 nanoamperes. 10 nano means 10 power minus 9 into e power VD. VD means forward bias voltage. You already given the 0.6, and neta is ideal factor 2. VT is 0.0257 minus 1. By doing the calculation, we will get diode current ID value is 1.17 milliamps. 1.17 milliamps. That means at room temperature, generally 25 degrees Celsius, you know that at room temperature that is 25 degrees Celsius, the diode current equals to, we will get 1.17 milliamps. So generally 1.17 milliamps means at room temperature the diode current is generally negligible. So the diode current is negligible. Diode current is negligible. But whenever we are giving the forward bias, that time the considerable amount of the diode current will flow through the diode. Okay. So this is the way to find out the diode current. Okay. We will move on to the next problem. So the next problem is third problem. So in this problem, a half-wave rectifier uses 5:1 transformer, diode with internal resistance of 20 ohms. If the load is 800 ohms, primary voltage is 240 volts, 50 Hz. Calculate the DC load current and second voltage. The second question is RMS and AC output current. Third, average diode current and voltage. Fourth, peak inverse voltage and ripple frequency. These are the terms too we have to find out. First, better to draw some diagram about this, then it will be easy. A half-wave rectifier using a transformer. So half-wave rectifier means we use some transformer. So this is the transformer. This transformer has turns ratio of 5:1. That means primary turns ratio is 5:1 generally, and applied voltage, input voltage is he mentioned. So this is AC supply, that is the 240 volts, and it is a half-wave rectifier, that's why it has a diode, and it is connected to some load. It is connected to some load. That load have the resistor is 800 ohms. Okay, resistor is 800 ohms. Yeah. So these are the given things. He given only 240 volts of this transformer voltage, but we don't know exact input voltage. Exact input voltage. Supply is given, but we need to find out this input voltage. For the transformer, for given data, first write down the given data. For this given data, he is given input voltage, not input voltage. This is transformer primary voltage. We can take it as transformer primary voltage. Take it as 1. Just RMS. Better to take the RMS. That value is the 240 volts. But we don't know exact voltage applied to the diode. By using this transformer ratio, we will find out this. That is, transformer ratio is V1 by V2 equal to N1 by N2. N1 by A2. By using this, we need to find out this. V1 is applied here. We have to find out the V2. Then V2 equals V1 into N2 by N1. So already transformer ratio is given, that is N1 by N2 equal to 5 by 1. So by using that, we can find out V1 equal to 240 and N2 equal to 1, N1 equal to 5. By using that, we will find out 5 4 ja 20, 5 8 ja 48. We will get the V2 is nothing but the input voltage of the half-wave rectifier. So that is, we can write RMS value represented by 48 volts. 48 volts. So by using this, we can find out the RMS. The RMS, input RMS value equal to input RMS value into root 2 into, so we are getting RMS only, but we need to find out the maximum voltage, because maximum voltage is useful in our formulas. So that's why the maximum voltage Vm equal to we will find out root 2 into V RMS. So here root 2 and V RMS is the 48 volts. So by using this we will find out the maximum voltage, that is 67.8 volts are the maximum voltage. It are the maximum voltage. So by using this we will find out the maximum current also. How we will find out the maximum current? So we are getting the maximum voltage here. This is the V maximum voltage. From this, by using this we will find out the maximum current also. How we can find out the maximum current? Current is nothing but by applying the loop equation we will get that. But diode is given the internal resistance, that way we will modify this. That is simply we can draw a circuit here. That is the applied voltage is here. Applied voltage is 48 volts. This is RMS voltage, and it is applied to the diode. But diode, when it forward biased, it has some internal resistance. He is given that value is EIT ohms, and he given the load resistance. The load resistance value is to 80 ohms. So this is the 20 ohms, internal resistance is 20 ohms, and the load resistance is the 800 ohms. 800 ohms. By using this we will find out the RMS current. RMS current. So but we need only maximum, that's why directly we are using the maximum values. So in order to find out the maximum current, maximum voltage by diode resistance plus load resistance. Look at here, because the voltage will cover diode resistance as well as the load resistance. Already we have the maximum voltage, that is 67.8. So diode resistance is 20 ohms plus 800. 20 ohms plus 800. By doing this we will get the current value equal, the maximum current Im value equal 82.68 milliamps. 82.68 milliamps. We are getting maximum current value as well as and maximum voltage values both. By using this we can find out the given parameters. Given parameters we will find that. So what is the first thing we have to find out? First thing is DC load current and voltage. So DC load current equal, the first point is he has to find out the DC load current and the voltage. Here DC load current equal maximum voltage by phi, maximum current by phi. What is the maximum current? We already find out maximum current is 82.68 by phi. By doing the simplification we will get 26.3 milliamps, right? This is for the load. This is for the load. Next we will find out average DC voltage. DC voltage is nothing but average voltage. DC voltage or average voltage both are same. Here also DC voltage or average voltage are same. So by using this we will find out Im. So DC voltage equal simply IDC into RL. We will find out simply IDC into RL. Output current. Output voltage we can find out IDC into RL. By doing this we will get We have all 26.3 because this is, we need to find out this value, VDC value. Okay, right. So IDC is 26.3L, RL equal road resistance is 800. By using this, we will get 21.06 volts. 21.06 volts. Therefore, the VDC equal to 21.06 volts. And the next is, we need to find out the RMS current. RMS and AC output current. So second point, RMS as well as AC output current. First thing we need to find out RMS, and second thing is AC output current. So for RMS formula, we know that directly RMS current equal to Im by 2. Maximum current, we know the maximum current value, that is 82.68 milliamps by 2. By doing the simplification, we will get 41.34 milliamps. This is the IRMS value. IRMS value, that is 41.34 milliamps. 41.34 milliamps. Next, we have to find out the AC output. AC output current. Here we have RMS. Generally RMS is combination of DC current as well as AC current. So in order to find out the AC current, we can directly find out by using the phenomena that DC current equal to under root of IRMS square minus I DC current or AC current. We need to find out pure AC. We need to find out the pure AC. So equal IDC square minus. So RMS value, we have the RMS value, that is 41.34 whole square minus, we know average current, we already find out previously, that is 26.3 milliamps. So 26.3 milliamps. By doing this, we will get the RMS pure AC current, output AC current, that is value is 31.89 ampere milliamps. Okay, 31.89 milliamps. Next is peak inverse and ripple frequency. The last point is peak inverse and average diode current and voltage. So average diode current is nothing but simply load current. Okay. Third point is average diode current. Average diode current equal to ID is nothing but I naught output current average. So already we find out the output current average IDC is 26.3 milliamps. That value is 26.3 milliamps. The next is peak inverse voltage. Peak inverse voltage. Okay. The last point is the peak inverse voltage. And average diode current and average, okay, DC load current and average voltage both are same. Okay. Next, peak inverse voltage. Peak inverse voltage means, look at here, we have only single diode. We have only the single diode. Single diode means we have maximum voltage capability of the diode is Vm. Maximum voltage capability of the diode is Vm directly. And the last point is the ripple frequency. Ripple frequency is a simple. So when we are drawing the output waves and input waves, the output waveform is the input voltage waveform, this is, and the output voltage waveform is like this. We have a ripple, and we have a ripple here, and we have a ripple here, like that, ripple here. And if you observe here, what is the frequency? Frequency is combination of positive half cycle as well as negative half cycle. This is the frequency. If you observe the output here, output also having the positive half cycle is positive and remaining is 0. Repeated again. This is also same thing. This is also the same thing. It has the same frequency, right? So the ripple frequency is nothing but the 50 Hz. Ripple frequency is nothing but frequency of the output waveform, simply. So that is also frequency of the output waveform, nothing but the 50 Hz, because the input wave is also the 50 Hz waveform. Okay. So this is the problem when he is asking to do with the half wave rectifier. The next problem is, for the circuit shown in figure, determine the A. DC output voltage, B. rectification efficiency, C. peak inverse voltage, D. output frequency. Diodes are ideal. So look at here, this is the 220 volts 50 Hz supply. This is the transformer ratio, this primary turns, and this is the secondary turns. And if you observe the diodes, these are bridge connected diodes. So we have 4 diodes, that's why it is full wave rectified. So a given circuit is simply the full wave rectified, right? But we don't know how much of voltage is entering into this diode circuit. But we have a formula. That formula is primary by secondary turns equal to primary voltage by secondary voltage. So primary turns by secondary turns equal to 10 by 1 is equal to primary voltage means 220 by secondary voltage equal to, we have to find out here secondary voltage equal to 220 by 10. By using this, we will get the secondary voltage equal to the 22 volts. Secondary voltage equal to 20 volts. That is, it gives the input voltage applied to the bridge circuit. Source voltage is the 22 volts. So we can take this is the input voltage. Next. Yes. So but the given voltage is directly RMS value. We know that the RMS value. So from this we will find out the maximum value. Maximum equal to root 2 into RMS voltage. The maximum value is root 2 RMS equal to 22. So by doing this we will get the maximum voltage equal to the 31.11 volts. 31.11 volts. Okay. So first question he is asking to find out the DC output voltage. The first point is DC output voltage. What is the formula in bridge rectifier? DC output voltage, output DC voltage or average voltage, this is 2 Vm by 5 is the formula. 2. What is Vm here? Vm is 33.11. 33.11. What is 5? We need to find. So by doing the simplification we will get V0 DCR, V0 average value equal to 19.81 volts. 81 volts. Next, second point. Here we have the second point. The second point is rectification efficiency. Name itself rectification efficiency. Efficiency is generally output by input, but rectification efficiency means is different, that is output DC power by output AC power. Both are output, don't forget it. Output DC power by output AC power. Okay. Input AC power actually 22 and input AC power, output DC power by input AC power. Okay, right. Simply efficiency means output by input power, but rectification efficiency means the DC output power by AC output power. So input power, this is the output power equals simply IDC square into R by AC power equal IRMS square into R, generally input power. So by using that, the DC output power is directly, we can write VDC square by R, and AC power equal to VRMS square by R. Both are cancelled, and the efficiency equal to VDC square by VRMS square. By using this, the average voltage VDC value is 19.81. So 19.81 whole square. VRMS means this is the input power, input voltage. This is the output. The RMS equal to 22 square. By doing this simplification, we will get the efficiency, rectification efficiency, normal efficiency, not normal efficiency. Rectification efficiency is 81.08%. And the last is, the third point is, we use it to find out the peak inverse voltage. Peak inverse voltage means the voltage across diodes when it is conductor reverse bias. The peak inverse voltage equal to greater than equal to the VM. For bridge rectifier is only VM. Okay. So for peak inverse voltage, we can take it as it is only VM. VM means here 31.11 volts only. Next we have the last point. The last point is the, what is the last point here? Output frequency. We need to find out the output frequency. So here generally the input is like this. Generally the input is like this. Input is general sinusoidal waveform, look like a sinusoidal. This is the sinusoidal waveform. This is the input. VM is there, but 2.5 and 3.5 like that. What is the output? So this is a full wave rectifier, means we have one pulse and also the second pulse also positive, third pulse also positive, like that. That means every time, for example, this is the, it will take the time period is the T, is the time period here, and the time period will be divided T by 2 here. Okay. So input time period equal to T, but output time period equal to T by 2. Okay, T by 2. Then the output frequency equal to the output frequency. So he's asking to find out the output frequency. What is the relation between frequency and the time period? Always frequency equal to 1 by time period, 1 by output time period. What is output time period value? T by 2. So just substitute output time period equal to 1 by, generally output time period is T by 2, but frequency, whenever time period is half means frequency is become double. So that's why the frequency is become 2 times. So input frequency is f, then output frequency is become double. That means it become 2 times of the frequency. Simply. Okay. Yes. So this is the procedure to do the problems regarding the full wave rectifier. In the full wave rectifier, generally we have more number of factors. We can do the more number of factors. In your exam, we already discussed in the theory more number of factors like output current, output voltage, and peak inverse voltage, ripple factor, form factor, and efficiency, transformer utilization factor. All will be, any of the factor will be asked in the exam. You have to perform the, you have to do the calculation. Okay, these are the some problems regarding to the half wave rectifiers and the full wave rectifiers, and as well as the diode current. Okay, thank you.